YouTube troopers, it's your girl Tam behind the mic. I haven't been on in about a week. As some may know, that my grandchildren went back to school. I've been ripping and running. And then I needed some time to just woosa, gather my bearings. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Tam behind the mic is on live. I'm going to put this fan on too. 1 second. Ooh. Hopefully it won't distort too much of my live tonight. What you're doing out there in YouTube land? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. We're back. Who's up with me? Briefly. I'm going to give people a chance to come on in. Let me, I guess I'll do a green screen. Or maybe not. I'll just leave it as it is. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Well, anyway, I know it's late in the evening, and I had to get things settled. And, I've been doing some self-care and some sitting still. And Friday nights, I like to relax. I was watching a program, very interesting. I think I'll discuss that on another day. And I'm burning my frankincense. And I have my sage to cover my space and my aura. Okay. Anyone coming in? Where you at, Kim? Where you at? I know I didn't call and tell you I was going live. But anyway, let's get into the discussion. As it has been publicly revealed that Diamond and her brother Michael, and I believe Angie's cousin, part of the estate, have their attorney has filed a lawsuit in regards to the fatality of the accident that Angie Stone was in. Unfortunately, that's my girl. And I'm going to keep on riding with her and her family, because that's what real friends do. And I'm not part of that go along, get along nonsense. And I'm going to keep rocking with the sequence, because they standing on business too. Really, really a blessing. And now that Angie's an ancestor, she's watching over all of this. She knows who's real and who's not. Well, she knew that before she transitioned. You know, when I look at all the particulars and was watching different things, I knew that it was an unfortunate accident. And yeah, Angie was alive when the Sprinter had flipped over. Unfortunately, she wasn't really situated on safety, because the 18-wheeler was probably going so fast and was very reckless in not being able to stop or avert the accident. So I'm praying and hoping that everything goes well, that they'll get some kind of restitution. And other bloggers and other YouTube channels just can't wait, because they're still on this conspiracy theory. And like Diamond told everybody, she don't care who it was, what the association was. it depended on this in-depth investigation and the autopsy. And yes, if someone was hit in a collision, it depends on who the mortician is, that they could put the body where back in pieces, because people have gotten the bang bang, zoop zoop, and I've seen people be put together. It's all in a matter of if the undertaker knows what they're doing and the level of professionalism. And remember, Tyler Perry, he footed that bill, and I'm sure they ensured that things were properly taken care of. And I'm glad that she looked so beautiful. I didn't bother to see the picture, out of respect of the family, but I know she was beautiful, because she was a beautiful person inside out. But she's a no nonsense, because that's what us sads do. We're no nonsense people. So yeah, no amount of money is gonna ever bring Angie back, and it's never going to heal that absence that their children will forever feel. And how I know, I briefly discussed it in my description, that I too had suffered a tragedy when my father, was accidentally struck by a motorist, and he was a pedestrian crossing the street before he was going to work, because he used to do what they call day laboring, because he was retired, and he was collecting his Social Security, but he was never a lazy person, and he was into some things too. So initially, when we got the news, we thought things otherwise, but however, it turned out totally different. And my sister and I, we were reunited after decades of being apart. So there were some good things that happened, but I read the crash report, and it was so traumatizing. And however, I just chose to kind of stuff that deep grief and go on with the business of life. And it was very difficult, and it still is. But I think the deepest pain of it all is to lose a child. Whether or not it's a baby, I think it's even worse when it's an adult. And that's what's hit me hard. And the idea of having to, clean out and gather your loved one belongings and making decisions on how things should proceed and where they should go. And also, with me, the dynamics were different. I'm raising my grandchildren and having to put so many different things in place. And I was in literal pain from working on my job. Yeah, so I think that Angie Stones Heirs, Michael and Diamond and her grandchildren and her friends and other family members and Sequence, they really deserve a break. Not that, in this climate of social media that's going to happen, because everybody has their opinion and so forth and so on. But yeah, I wanted to kick it, and I'm like, kudos, because I'm their biggest I'm one of the cheerleaders. And Diamond is a gem. She reminds me of my daughter Alexia. Alexia was an Aries too, and I know that there's always an angel watching over us, but it's not an easy task. I've seen Diamond on live and going through her mom's belongings, and it just takes that extra strength You know, so you people out there, give them a break. You know, all this conspiracy, Diamond told paperwork party that, you know, she would definitely, and the investigation was an ongoing investigation, they would get to the bottom of everything. So, you know, maybe now that can give some clarity that no, nobody did anything intentionally to harm Angie, and that 18-wheeler was not planted there. And sure, people's energy probably, you know, didn't want the best for Angie. And there's power in thought. Like, a lot of people probably wish me I would go away because I'm standing on business when it comes to people's hip hop history, the narrative that they're spewing, and it's just a mess. But I have faith and confidence that things are going to work out full circle, you know. And as I continue to heal and go through my process of therapy and taking care of myself and knowing my limitations and setting boundaries with people, and thank God, thank God I'm not the person I used to be, you know. But anyway, that's what I wanted to chop up with you all, you know, briefly, and to let you all know, like, let grieving people, let them take care of their business because they're going to do it anyway. And, you know, I give virtual hugs to Angie's children because it's difficult. And she has a whole entire legacy that they have to continue on, you know. But she raised her children well, to the best of her ability. And sure, she gave them a lot of love. And sure, she probably spoiled them rotten. That's what us Sagittarius do. And yes, she probably had her own little differences, you know, but that never took away the love that she has and had for her children and her grandchildren. They meant everything to her. And even Diamond. You know what I mean? I had outs with my daughter Alexia, but I tell you, I wish that she was here, and I wish that I would have been able to see her progress. And it's so unfortunate when our own kind will drop a ball and then cover up and do all of that stuff. See, that's what I'm contending with every day. And I wish, and I don't know how things are going to turn around, but I'm very optimistic about the whole damn thing. And I think the ones that have caused harm and all of that shiesty and underhanded stuff, things are going to come out. You know, and I don't wish anybody any harm. I cheer those who are getting their accolades and the ones that act like I never existed. As far as hip hop is concerned, they know, and I'm going to always tell, they know I came before a lot of them. And I took a lot of hits for the team. But, you know, the team ain't always what it seems. You know, so that's that. So I'm not going to ramble because I am tired. I had put in some laundry. And I have a full day tomorrow. Yeah, and I'm just trying to relax because I think I didn't really, I did overdo it. Sometimes it's a little challenge when I'm out and about because I don't get out that much, you know, to do some recreational things. But slowly but surely, I'm starting to do those things, and it's also giving me an opportunity to tap into my creative self. So, yeah. If you like, share, and subscribe, you'll see how this channel will make its progress. And I definitely have to be more consistent. And I'm getting better at reading because I'm doing some self-healing too. And it is recommended because I've been going, I deal with trauma, with my dad, my mom, um, the music business, the whole gamut. So someone recommended that one of my friends that I grew up with recommended that I purchase It Didn't Start With You. How inherited family trauma shapes who we are and how to end the cycle. So I'm always about, trying to make a difference and expanding my mind, because for almost 8 years I haven't really been able to read consistently. And, grief just changes your brain composition, the dynamics of so many different things. But, you know, a day at a time, I'm doing the best I can. So, I wish you all peace and blessings and light. Good night.